everyone and welcome back. Today we will start with a new application. So we already finished Word presentation like PowerPoint, and now we want to start with Excel sheet. So today's lesson is called Spreadsheet Formulas lesson, and this lesson have about 30 titles. So when you take a lesson, it will go through different things, how to work with Excel sheet. The first thing I want to tell you to do, every time anything that you see here in the Excel sheet, not only for Excel, it's also for PowerPoint and Word, but in PowerPoint and Word I did not mention that because it's easy to use. But this one, instead of writing those examples and number to try it, any example that you can see, just scroll down and download it from here. So you will have something to download any Excel sheet that you can see on the page. So each page have a different examples, and all of those examples you can download them. Okay, and how to open Excel in general, you can go to start and from here type Excel. So Excel is another application from Microsoft 365. We use Word document to create text and document. We use PowerPoint to present and to visualize or do data visualization for the text. And we will use Excel to do some equations and calculations. For students who have a major like business major, you will have another also course mainly focus about how to using Excel, but in a very advanced level. Now Excel in general, when you open Excel, you will have this. There is some similarities between Excel, Word, and PowerPoint with using ribbons. So all of them, they are using ribbons, but the icons here is a little bit different. It's talk mainly about equations, numbers, scientific things, and businesses. Now, each ribbon is exactly how we have in Word and PowerPoint. They have icons, and there is a lines between the icons to separate them in groups. So we have the clipboard group, font, alignment, numbers, and so on. How Excel work? Excel in general work in something called cells. So each square here we have, or rectangle, it's a cell. This rectangle or this cell which is have the border, it's called the active cell. And active cells means what? It's active, and anything I type from the keyboard will be on that cell because it's the cell that is active. In general, Excel sheet is number of rows and number of columns. They create a very huge table. Now, the rows will be numbers and the columns will be letters. If you go here, we have X, Y, Z, and then if you click more, we have AA, AB, AB, AC, AD, and more and more and more, okay? So how many rows and how many columns I have, you can search in Google, but the last thing that I know is we have 16,000 column and about 1 million row. We can have it in Excel, in each Excel sheet. And this is the meaning of big data. If you heard about big data, is the data that human cannot recognize or cannot read. It's very huge. So because of that, we use some algorithms or AI or machine learning or whatever to read it and to give us a decision from this data. Excel sheet is one of the programs that we use to store big data. So if you keep scrolling to the right and scrolling down, you will have more and more and more lines and columns until you reach 16,000 column and about 1 million row. Okay, each cell have a reference name. If you look here in this one, it's called the reference box or the name box. This one show you the reference for each one, and the reference usually started with the name of the column followed by the name of the row. So this cell is A1. This cell is B3. So the name of the column, then the name of the row. This cell is L16. Okay, so each cell have a reference, and this reference is very important because we want to use it. If I zoom in, okay, we want to use it to do calculations. If I type 5 in A1 and 4 in A2, and I want to do summation for them, Okay, I want to do summation for them in two ways. Any equation, remember that any equation in Excel should started with equal. Every time you should put equal. So this cell equal to what? 5 plus 4. Press enter, it's 9. If I change this one, I make it 6. So it should be 10, right? But it doesn't change because I did not use the reference of the cell. But I use what? I use the numbers or the values in that cell. So I can do another calculation. I can say equal, and then instead of typing 5, I want to type A1, which means the reference of the first one, plus B2. B1, sorry. A1 plus B1 is 9. Now, if I change this one and make it 6, it's 10. If I make it 100, it's changed automatically. Why? Because I use the references for the cell, which mean whatever the content of this cell, I want you to add them together. Okay? So if you take a look here, here also it's called the formula bar, and this formula bar show you the equation for each cell. Anyway, your professors will show you all of this, but let me give you the headlines for this lesson. So this lesson will be divided in different parts. Part number one is how to getting started with Excel. So it show you the interface, the layout, and things that I already show you. Then they will tell you how to use something called AutoSum. And AutoSum is another way to do calculation. If I said I have 6, 7, 10, how to do AutoSum, select all of them plus one empty cell because I need this empty cell for what? For the result. And then click on this icon, which is the AutoSum. Okay, so this icon is an AutoSum, which means it's a summation from all of this. Also, your professor will show you something called autofill, where autofill is when something that automatically fills stuff. If I said 1, 2, 3, 4, look at this. We have this small, if you can see that, there is a small square on the edge, right? When I put my cursor, it's changed when I put my cursor in this small square. In the left, in the right down corner, okay? This one will help you to autofill. If I click and drag, it's autofill everything. If I say 2, 4, 6, 8, I mean even numbers, it's the same. It will autofill with even numbers. If I say today's is April, today is April 20, autofill. Okay, so this autofill can automatically detect what you are thinking to do, so it will automatically fill the other cells. Also, in part 2, your professor will show you some common functions and calculations that everyone should know about Excel, like calculating average, minimum, maximum, count A and count, and a lot of things. Also, they will show you the if function, which is an logical function that can test if yes or if no. Also, part 3, they will talk about formatting and references for the how can I format my Excel sheet. In part 4, they will show you some advanced techniques, like how can I work with different worksheets at the same time. So this is a sheet 1, I can add sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. What if all of them have information and they want to do calculation for numbers from all of those sheets together? Okay, part 5, they will show you some functions, but not for numbers. They will show you functions for text. How can I do concatenate for text? How can I do text join? And a lot of functions that they will show you. Finally, before you go to the class, I want you to try by yourself to build a spreadsheet or an Excel sheet using 3 to 5 functions from today's lesson. I want you to try to calculate and to summarize your monthly expenses, for example. Complete the spreadsheet, quizzes and tasks and discussion that is your request to do for this week. Thank you for watching and keep practicing, and see you in the next lesson.